Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Prometheus Bob. I'm a drag king here in Los Angeles, and today I wanted to talk about King of Drag. Yay! Applause, applause, applause. The wonderful, incredible drag king reality show. It is now 3 episodes in as I'm recording this. I was thinking of doing like recaps, but I was really kind of not sure what to do, and I kind of just want to like sit down and chat with you guys about it. What is it like as a drag king to see myself represented on TV for the first time authentically ever? I mean, we have had kings on other programs before, like Dragula, of course, but like actually having kings be center stage for the first time ever, it's so fantastic, and I want to talk to you guys about it. And I don't know, I've felt so many types of ways about this. Everything about the show is wonderful, I should say that up front to not leave you guys hanging. I've been having lots of thoughts about drag, our place in the world as performers and entertainers, and what like competition reality shows do to drag. I think it's fascinating, and let's get into it. I've been doing drag here in LA since 2017. So I actually am about to have my 8-year birthday. Woo! I know Charles, of course, very well. He is also my drag brother. He also drew these drawings of me. I forgot to say this until the end of the video, but I thought it would be important to say up front. I did a makeup swap with Charles Galen King, and we then reacted to our performances together.
I've seen this video audio.
This is what I love about you, because you always find like weird fucking mashups.
Thank you. YouTube is beautiful. Thank you, YouTube.
And those videos are on my channel and on his channel, so if you want to see him talk about his drag and like see his fantastic fucking performances, if you're in LA, Charles Galen King is like the bitch that you book. He is one of the best lip syncers I have ever seen, if not the best, because I'm very biased. If you would like to see some of his performances and like some of his commentary to it, I'm gonna link it. Please go check it out and subscribe to his channel and like support Charles Galen King. Bow, 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 bow. So I started drag in 2017. I have been doing drag in DTLA since, kind of on and off. I have my own show called Drag and Draw. That's where these lovely drawings came from. And I also applied for the show, actually. I sent in my tape. I think it was okay. I understand why they didn't cast me, because I think like I was coming out of like a very long break of doing drag. And I think they recognized that I need more time to cook. And I don't even know if I'm gonna apply for the next season. I was very interested just to see how it would go down. Yeah, I just want to share my perspective of someone who wanted to be on the show, who might apply again, who's an LA drag king, whose brother is on the show. Like, let's get into it. Starting with how I feel about like drag kings being on TV now, finally. My immediate reaction to the show was like, holy shit, this is what drag kings are, and people finally get to see this. Like, I know so many kings like Percocets who are just like, you know, maybe a little neurotic. We're all fucking anxious. We're all like anxious and in our heads. And like Big D exemplifies this a lot, especially after the last episode. The drag king perspective is just so different from the drag queen perspective. And I think like the kings who have like made it really far are kings who are able to really inhabit both worlds. But a lot of kings like can't, don't, or don't want to like keep pace with like the drag queen world. I that's not to say that they're separate. I think in the clubs, it depends. There's definitely clubs that like will introduce kings as drag queens, like still to this day, or don't book kings. It's not all like totally equal, but there are also lots of venues where kings and queens are performing together. But drag kings don't really have like a reading culture. As you've seen in the show, we're like not super catty. I feel like kings are much more like, there's a lot of theater kids. I think there's a lot of clowns. My background is just like being kind of like club kid drag monster and doing whatever the fuck I want. And I don't associate with being a drag queen at all, but I do think I'm somewhere between like drag thing, drag monster, non-binary to like drag king. I don't do super mask drag, but at the same time, being trans, I think it's important for me to claim that this aesthetic is my expression of like masculinity. And so that's why I call myself a drag king. But I really appreciate how the show captures the essence of like what a king-filled room feels like, or like a AFAB, DFAB filled room feels like, because of course there's also plenty, like I perform with so many AFAB performers who maybe don't identify as like queen but do like femme drag, or who do identify as a queen, or who are doing burlesque. Like there's so many other types of performers that like just don't have like their own shows or like their own niche, and I think this is like kind of understood by drag audiences, but you don't really understand it unless you're like going to drag shows all the time or like interacting with like the scene in that way. I just feel like the show has such a cozy family vibe, and it feels like, I had a feeling it was gonna be like this, and I'm really glad I was right, is that it feels like if a drag show was the Great British Bake Off, where people aren't really competing with each other, they're just trying to showcase their skills and do their best, and there's no like cattiness or like everyone wants to have a fair competition, everyone wants to help each other. I think that's wonderful, and I guess that means we have to address the elephant in the room, which is Drag Race. There's also Dragula, but I think first of all, Dragula has always accepted kings. Dragula does kind of have the like, there is the drama, but also I think that the drama is also like real. But I think part of the reason also that like there's not that much drama on King of Drag is because they actually very genuinely casted, they weren't casting a reality TV show, whereas Drag Race was formulated to be like a spoof on reality TV shows, and so they got like reality TV characters for the show, but also as a drag competition. I don't think they're like not casting talent in any way, but I do think that they tried, when they round out the cast, they try to have a well-rounded cast of characters rather than like a well-rounded cast of talent. And that's why a lot of the challenges are not that satisfying to watch as viewers. I don't think I've ever laughed at Drag Race in its entirety as much as I laughed at just the talent show episode, the Dong Show. My apologies. And I love that people are kind of seeing that all of this exists in drag and has existed, and that is why Kings have wanted something different and like representation for so long, is because we know that these communities exist. We know what it's like to be in a room full of like AFAB performers or trans mask performers or just trans performers, non-binary performers. I think it's so special that the cast that they have is what, like three trans people, 3 non-binary people, I think, and then the rest are cis maybe, but like if I got my facts wrong, I'm so sorry. And that's like such a wonderful and diverse and genuine lineup of people. And so I love seeing that represented. I just love the cast. I love the cast so much. I don't have any FOMO. I think a lot of the challenges look fun. I think also doing like 6 12-hour filming days in a row. If I'm a ghost now, I would be ascended to the astral plane by the end of it. It would not really go well for me, I think. Which I had kind of an inkling about, which is why I don't know if I'm gonna apply in future seasons. But I do want to talk about like the actual production value of the show. It is, I think, as we've noted, very low production value, but I'm like screaming because it is so high quality for like a pilot season. Like if we look at Drag Race season 1, it's pretty much the same production quality. I think like there's a lot of things that King of Drag does. We won't even talk about Dragula season 1. We don't even talk about that. But anyway, I think that King of Drag, like you can just tell it like seeps from every pore and every like frame that so much love went into this show. It is so obvious to me. The title sequence is so stinking cute. Just like hats off. I don't remember who did the title sequence, but I did hear that they got a drag king to do it, which is just like, I love seeing that all stays in the community, it stays in the family. I think the man cave looks like super cute. It's a lot higher budget than like I think I was expecting, or like you can like stretch things really well with like a low budget if you know what the fuck you're doing. And I think that a lot of people who knew what the fuck they were doing and had a lot of love and passion for the content came together on that show. I love everything about like the production. I know that there's probably so much more that they wish they could have done, but I think for a first season it's like pretty much immaculate. I do think that the first episode was rough. I think we can agree that the boy band episode was like a really big swing for doing everything all in one day, but I think it still turned out pretty well. And then the episodes since then have just been like off the charts in terms of the talent presented and the way it's presented as well. I love Murray Hill as a presenter. I think he's like just like cute drag dad. The mark of a good entertainer is that like you make the audience feel safe with you, and I feel like he has that in spades. Oh, and then the like knighting ceremony was really, really sweet. And I really appreciate that they understood that this is not an opportunity that most performers are gonna get, or like most kings are gonna get, and that we're a really underserved community and we don't often get a spotlight, and that they wanted people to know like walking away alone, trying to hold your head high in like a silent studio has to feel so devastating versus like having all your family come around you and like celebrate you. I think that's really beautiful. Like hats off that they really put a lot of care and effort into the show and the performers. And I just love it. I love the show so much. And I love drag kings. I love drag. And I really love the response I have seen from people on the internet. I love like sleuthing in the comments and on Reddit and seeing people say things and just like feel warm and happy because that is what drag should be for. Just seeing so many, such talented kings all in one place giving their best is so wonderful. Of course, I've seen so many kings in so many venues and so many aspects over the years, but just like, I'm just still so blown away by the Dong Show. I like was crying laughing, and it was just so so good. I'm just like so happy with like the caliber of drag being shown, and I love like that we get to also have commentary on masculinity that is like also loving, because the thing about being a drag king is like, yeah, maybe you're like taking the piss on masculinity because it's like silly. But at the same time, like, we obviously love it, and that's why we do it. And I just love, like, people having a safe space to, like, explore and exhibit masculinity in ways that are more relatable and accessible, and showing that masculinity doesn't have to be, like, bad. There's definitely, like, non-toxic, wholesome masculinity out there in the world. And also, like, sometimes I think it's fun to, like, get a super masculine character like Sylvester Stallone and have him fight a blanket. I am such a big D fan. I'm a big fan of everyone, I should say. I think the caliber of drag is just so good, and I think it's because they also wanted to actually cast like the best of the best, and they took everyone that they thought had it in them to like bring drag to this level. I think it's so great. But now I'm kind of curious, like, what is this gonna mean for drag kings moving forward? Like, when I was putting my face on, it's the first time I've gotten in drag for like maybe like a week or two, so I've been able to sit with the show for a while. And I was thinking like if I was on the show, like imagine like there's a difference, because on Drag Race it's like the queens that they bring on the show, they try to fit into a mold of like glamour superstar. But like if you are doing your thing, performing and entertaining people, it doesn't like what you're doing is valid because you're doing your job. It's like judging a barista if they have like a visor on or not, you know, neither on or off doesn't make them a real barista. It's the fact that they're making you drinks. And so I feel that way about drag, with like how certain things kind of get codified because they end up on TV. And then like if I ended up on the show, then I would become an example of what a drag king is. But if I don't, then my drag will never, well, I won't say never in that context of like I'm on TV in a drag king format of like as an example of this is what a drag king is and what drag king does. And then the fact that I could like get judged or critiqued based on like this, it would be like crazy, because then why is it's like art. That's kind of just what I've been thinking. It was really, really interesting to me. For me, I always just feel like I'm just doing makeup in my bedroom, or I'm just doing makeup going in front of like 30 people, and like I'm just being me. But once you get into like a slightly larger audience, it's like, oh, that's a drag king. And I like, it's interesting to think about, and I like it. What I put in my, I'll do like a separate video if anyone wants to go through my audition tape with me. I don't know. I remember writing in one of the places that like, I was like, I don't want to like become famous as like something else. Like I want to become famous as like a drag king. Like I want people to associate me with drag king. And that's just kind of been coming up in my brain recently. So what I'm kind of getting to is I'm curious how this is gonna take drag kingness in the future. Like, because now people are associate the word drag king, I mean, instead of like Landon Cider and Tenderoni, etc., it's gonna be also these 10 performers that we have. The canon, it's like we have more entries in the canon of like drag, and that's really cool. And I'm curious how that's gonna affect future drag kings. Like Drag Race has really affected the shape that drag queens have taken. But also I think like being a drag king has been greatly influenced by queens, and there's a lot of kings who do their makeup based on like queen's makeup. So I don't know, there's definitely the internet and people definitely get influenced by each other a lot, but I'm just curious like if this is gonna like what culture is gonna come out of this, like what's gonna build from it, like what are gonna be the returning challenges on the show. Like I'm assuming the Dong show is gonna come back. I honestly would be happy if they brought any of these challenges back. I would love to see a bit of a redemption for the boy band one because I think it was like really well done by all the kings. I just want to see like I want to see matching boy band looks. I want to see like choreography that took longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Like I want to go all in on this. Like I just want to see it brought to that level. I love boy bands. I'm like Sasha Velour. I'm like, I'm expecting a lot. It is really crazy to me the fact that like so many queens like don't know anything about drag kings or like don't care that much or like don't see the issue that like a lot of kings see. I don't think, I'm just gonna say this here, I don't think drag kings should be on Drag Race necessarily competing, but I think it could be opened a little bit more to like cis queens or AFAB queens, non-binary performers, etc. And just understanding that it is also, you know, the way it was originally conceived. I think that's fine, but I think like a drag king should be allowed to go and do the show if they want to. You know, like just like Sasha Colby was in drag as a drag king on the show, they've had drag kings on the show so much. But anyway, that's not like my campaign, that's not my, I'm not gonna die on a hill. I don't really care that much, but I do think that it's ridiculous that they don't have like kings as judges, or they haven't had like a drag king episode, that they don't bring drag kings on. There are so many ways that they could have incorporated drag kings and left the show as it is. Like it is, to me, it's really, choosing my words carefully, I think it is a bit irresponsible. I think it's irresponsible. I think it's a shame. And I think it's, yeah, I think it's kind of shameful. I think it is shameful of people involved in that show who have kept drag kings away from it. I digress. I don't want to keep it negative. I don't want to be a downer, but I really think that a lot of queens could do better and educate themselves. It's frustrating because it's like, we're doing the exact same thing. And I don't know like why, I don't know. But that's a different topic for a different day, I think. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. If you want to stick around, I do a lot of makeup and talking about life, and I have a tarot channel that I just started. If you want to, I don't know if I'm going to actually edit in here, but like click somewhere and you can go check out my tarot readings online. I don't do them in drag because that's way too much fucking work. Who's your fave? Who's your fave? Should I go on a future season? Probably not. And also maybe subscribe because in the next few days I'm going to be trying the weenie challenge that they did in the last episode where they did the half and half face. I've never done that before and I'm a little bit spooky, so I think that would be up my alley. I feel confident about my makeup and I did my face in 45 minutes today. I just want to try it. And I'm also about to film another video right now, so I'll be in the same look. Don't hate me. I might change this, but talking about my trans identity and journey and how I knew I was trans, so subscribe for that. Don't forget to go check out me and Charles doing our makeup together and reacting to our performances. Please, it was so fun and I'm just so grateful he's my brother and I'm sure he'll be on the channel again in the future. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, King and Drag fans. I just love how much people are falling in love with drag kings and I'm just so happy, and I think that we're gonna save the world, and I think drag is great, and I think you should have a really good day, and I love you, and